The Dream SMP has recently been a bit eventless, and in a storyline as chaotic as the Dream SMP's, this usually signals to one thing: something big is going to happen soon. After going through several streams and videos to piece together the information we have, I was presented with a dark possibility, and what started as just another Dream SMP theory turned into something a lot bigger. Because I believe that after escaping Pandora's vault, Dream will hunt down and kill Tubbo, and by using Tubbo's very life as leverage, Dream will put the Dream SMP in one of the darkest eras it has ever seen. Also, before the video starts, if this theory makes sense to you at any point in the video, or if you end up enjoying it, I would really appreciate it if you could check if you're subscribed. I know every YouTuber says this, but it really does help out a ton. Enjoy the video. Firstly, to figure out what Dream will do after he escapes prison, we need to look at what he's missing. If we can find that out, then we could potentially use it to predict his future movements. So what exactly is Dream missing? Well, in short, everything. He blew up his house before entering the prison, so he's homeless, and he lost all of his gear, food, potions, and weapons during the imprisonment. But that's not even the worst part here. All of the things I just mentioned can be obtained once Dream escapes. No, Dream is missing something that, as it stands, is impossible for him to obtain, and without it, Dream has no protection over anyone on the server. Leverage. Leverage is something that Dream has been constantly trying to get more of since the beginning of the server. Think about it, it started with Tommy's discs, which as we all know, gave rise to the biggest war in the history of the server, and over time he gathered items and pets that the members had attachment to. That is how Dream has been able to survive for this long, and Dream currently has no leverage. Without it, Dream is essentially a dead man if he escapes the prison, which is exactly why I think that he has a plan to get leverage. But wait, didn't I mention that Dream is broke? Then how exactly is Dream supposed to trade for an item that someone's attached to when he has nothing? Well, what if I told you that Dream already has exactly what he needs to get leverage? And no, it's not an item, it's the Revive book. As some of you probably know already, the Revive book is no longer a book. Now, I know that might sound weird to some of you who aren't caught up with the story, so let me explain. Because he feared that people could try to steal the Revive book from him, Dream decided that the best way to avoid theft would be to memorize the entire revival process and burn the book. This way, he would be the only one with the ability to revive people. At face value, this seems like a really smart plan, and that's because it is. Even though people like Quackity came back and tried to squeeze the knowledge out of him, Dream still is the only person with the ability to revive the dead. Which means that if someone were to quote-unquote accidentally die, Dream would be the only person that could bring them back. I think you know where I'm going with this. By killing a member on the Dream SMP, Dream would practically create the perfect leverage and control everyone that cares about the dead member simply by saying, hey, if you don't listen to me, they're going to stay dead. And now there's a big question that we need to ask. Who is Dream going to kill in order to achieve his goal? Well, since you've read the title of the video, you already know who. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would Dream kill Tubbo out of everyone on the server? Well, let's start with a not so obvious reason. Dream's gear. As most of you probably know, Dream's entire inventory was confiscated by Tubbo during the Disc Saga finale, and for safekeeping, Tubbo put all of it in his secret vault at Snowchester. After letting the gear sit in there for months, Tubbo actually gave away the armor to Tommy on April 28th, so that Tommy could use it in his attempt at killing Dream. But the thing is, Tommy never actually used the armor when he was trying to kill Dream. I'm not even joking. Now here, I want to introduce you to a concept. Chekhov's gun. Basically, it's the concept that states that every element introduced to a story has to become relevant later on. In other words, every build-up has to have a payoff. This whole idea might seem completely irrelevant here, but WilburSoot himself, who is the main writer of the story, has mentioned this very concept several times now. Now, why would Tommy ask for Dream's armor just to never use it again? Well, as it stands, this whole interaction has had no real relevance to the story so far, which to me says that it'll become relevant later on. Think about it, by killing Tubbo and holding his very life hostage, Dream can take back his long-lost gear from Tommy. Just listen to the man himself.
Me?
Do you want your armor back, Dream?
That is the first thing I'll come for when I break out.
Well,
I will rip it off your dead body, Tubbo.
Another potential motive is the sheer grudge that Dream holds against the two children. During the Disc Saga finale, Dream seemed very motivated to kill Tubbo, and throughout his time in prison, Dream has made it very clear that he is going to do everything he can to destroy Tommy's life once he escapes, and he even hinted at killing Tubbo himself.
But listen, everyone is my puppets, and I can bring you back. I could go and kill Tubbo, and then I could bring him back.
The final, and probably the reason that makes the most sense, is that Tubbo is currently the only member with nearly zero negative relations with the other members. Think about it, the only members that might not care about Tubbo's life are the people currently infected by the egg. This means that Dream will be able to control a lot more people by killing Tubbo than a person like Tommy or even Technoblade, who both have a lot of enemies. So now we have a fairly clear idea as to why Dream could kill Tubbo, but the real question is, how? To me, there are three different scenarios in which Dream could potentially kill Tubbo, and the last one is very dark. The first one is during Dream's escape. If you don't know already, Tommy, Tubbo, and Rambo have been planning on killing Dream for a while now, and since they probably won't sit back and relax when Dream's breakout starts to take place, Dream could potentially take Tubbo's life in the middle of the chaos, and use it as leverage to escape safely. The second scenario is when Dream visits Snowchester, to either take back his gear since he isn't aware that Tommy has them, or to steal some of Tubbo's nukes. Yeah, Dream knows about the nukes, no thanks to Techno telling him in the prison. Now, if Dream does in fact visit Snowchester and attempt a heist, I'd imagine that Tubbo would definitely defend his secret vault, and who knows how that would go. And now for the darkest scenario that I can think of, and unfortunately, it's the most likely one. Dream might have Rambo kill Tubbo for him. Let me explain. Rambo's entire story thus far has been about his secret connection to Dream. So far, we know that Rambo goes on quote-unquote underwalks and helps Dream with his evil deeds. That normally wouldn't hint at Rambo suddenly betraying Tubbo and killing him, but I feel like there's something else going on here. When Sapnap visited Dream in prison a couple of months ago, Dream gave Sapnap a message for Rambo. The message was a simple smiley face. Now, when Sapnap confronted Rambo with the message during their conversation afterwards, something really weird happened. It was almost as if the smiley face triggered something in Rambo's head, and he went completely silent and walked away, without a single care for his surroundings. What if this trigger word or trigger phrase is how Rambo enters his underwalks, or at least how Dream controls him during the walks? If this is the case, Dream could potentially use this same method of controlling Rambo, who is the best friend of Tubbo, and make Rambo kill Tubbo. Not only would he not see this coming, which makes it a very easy and efficient way for Dream to get rid of Tubbo, but it would also be the perfect payoff to the secret Dream Rambo connection that we've been seeing for months now. Again, Shaco's gun. I personally would love to see this happen because the damage it could cause to Rambo and all of the other members is absurd, and we might even see a Rambo evil arc if this does in fact take place. But hey, that's just a theory. I hope you've enjoyed the video and stay safe.